Hi everyone, hope you're all very well. It's Bernard here with the Citizen channel, and because of the international break this is just like a little special today, a City present, a special City magazine feature on what's going on around City on and off the pitch, and of course another quick look at Pep. I mean, I think everyone's throwing out things on Pep at the moment, aren't they? You know me, I'm doing my Pep last season watch, which is get some interesting comments to say the least. So yeah, we're going to have a look at Pep, and obviously just just a quick word on how the season's gone so far. We're only 3 games in, aren't we? Feels a lot longer than that to me, to be honest with you. It feels as though we've been here a long time. So we'll have a quick look at that, and of course we'll have the little "You Are the Ref" feature, aren't we? Which one or two people have quite enjoyed that. It's only a little thing, obviously, but we'll have that as well, just to keep the interest on our City Present magazine today. Right, please, if you're new to the channel, push that subscribe button, push the bell notifications, and make sure your notifications are set to public, otherwise you'll not get to hear about these. A lot of people they're all set to private. I think a lot of people's are set to private, so you have to go into your settings and make sure they're public. Otherwise you'll think, well, I set that notification, well, why didn't I know? But hey, there you go. And please, thumbs ups are fantastic. It's nice to get views. I mean, I did comment the other week, one of my Leeds the Leeds preview game got almost 1,000 views. Absolutely fantastic. Over 40 likes on that. Thank you very much. But thumbs up are always nice. So please, let's go for say 15 to 20 on this, and get 15 to 20. So please, just takes a split second, do that thumbs up. Absolutely fantastic. Tell your mates I'm on as well, and tell them to do a thumbs up. Right, You Are the Ref. Let's have a look at that quick first. Look at that image there. There's an image there. I wonder who that reminds me of. I think there was one I picked the other day. Had Shawnee Wright on it as an image of Shawnee Wright. Right, let's have a look at this question, and I'll give you the answer at the end of the vlog. This is an interesting one, this one. It got me flummoxed, to be honest with you. A defender and the goalkeeper change places and jerseys without telling you. You're the ref, don't forget. You still haven't noticed 2 minutes later when the defender, who is now wearing the goalie's jersey, dives and handles the ball. What do you do? Here we go. We got 4 options. Do you stop play and caution both players? That's A. B. Do you allow play to continue, but when the ball is next out of play, caution both players? That's B. C. Do you not take any action at all? Or D. Do you order both to swap back and award a penalty for the handball? Because obviously he's handballed it, hasn't he? So there you go. There's 4 options. An interesting one, that, isn't it? So anyway, I'll let you know at the end of this vlog. Right, the transfer window, and I must admit, I remember a lot of comments when before we bought Ruben Diaz. Obviously, people, wait till the transfer window shuts, etc., etc. But yeah, I mean, we've got obviously Ruben Diaz now, and very early acquisitions of Aki and Torres, which we tend to do, don't we? Very rarely do late ones, which is unusual with Ruben Diaz, but we definitely needed. And I think obviously looking at it, you have to consider he was probably possibly our 3rd choice, wasn't he? I mean, based on what we've seen. So, but hey, he's welcome, isn't he? And I'm sure he'll do a great job for us. And there's some great images there at We Are MCFC of the 3 players, which I've shared with you there. So they're great. So yeah, the window's shut, and people aren't so happy. You know me, I wanted a strike. I know people going about left backs, etc., but I'm just desperate for a backup striker, and I don't believe he's going to give Delap the chances he probably needs. I mean, if any game needed Delap, it was probably the Leeds game for the last 10 or 15 minutes, but I think Pep's going to carry on not really bringing the youth through, isn't he, apart from Mr. Foden, who's having not problems of his own, but obviously, you know, we will see very in and out performances from Phil Foden in this, perhaps his first real full season. Yeah, so is that enough? I don't think it's enough to make it any more change to last season. I mean, we sit 14th at the moment with a negative goal difference. That's not often we see that, is it? But hey, we're only three games in, and obviously a win on the game in hand would see us move up 4 or 5 places. So at least we're a bit more 10 for 11. So it won't be too bad, would it? It looks like we'll have a fully squad when the league recommences with the visit of Arsenal, which I'll do obviously a preview of that next week. And it's only looks as though it's Cancelo who's had a bit of a problem coming back. A couple of things, Gundogan might just be ready, and Zinchenko might just be ready by the visit of Arsenal, but more likely the couple of games after. But yeah, Cancelo's had a bit of a problem, so he's had a bit of a relapse, unfortunately. So we will have a fully squad apart from that, and missing Cancelo obviously gives a little bit of a headache, because he is that left back option as well, isn't he? And of course, we've got the Champions League kicking in, starting straight after the Arsenal Premier League game. So, yeah, I mean, it is far too early to make. You know me, I don't think we're quite good enough to finish second. I mean, we'll talk about other results over the weekend, obviously. But, yeah, I did say that if we after last weekend's results with Liverpool, etc., that if we did sort of hit any sort of form in the league, a bit not tongue in cheek, I did actually say the league could be ours again, because obviously based on that we only have to play half decent and we'll be all right. But the problem we have is the elephant in the room, is he? And the elephant I'm referring to, he's not big and ugly. He's quite a handsome guy, isn't he? But our elephant in the room is Pep, obviously, in my opinion. I did a little tongue-in-cheek comment, which got a few interesting comments back, and a bit of sarcasm, etc., etc. I did comment on Twitter and Facebook that we're not spending, obviously, as the window closed. So that was proof, if we needed it, that Pep is off. And obviously one or two comments about, well, we've spent 130 million, etc. But I was more commenting on the journalists who actually claim we had a 300 million pound war chest, didn't they, at the end of last season or the beginning of this season. So there's one or two journalists saying we had 300 million war chest, and if you think about the COVID problems and the income we're going to lose, etc., I mean, I have no idea where they got that from. So my comment was more in line without poking a little bit of fun at that. But obviously these things are missed, aren't they, when you put these things out there on social media. Let's be honest, we can all speculate, can't we? Of course we will. None of us fans or the media know really what Peps and the hierarchy plans are at the moment. All we can go off what we see week in, week out by following our team. Obviously we don't have the personal contacts anymore at the match and look at him. We can only see what we see on the TV, sort of thing. There was rumours, obviously, I think Mr. Cheeseman put one out that he was extending his contract, and someone talking about a rolling contract, 12-month contract. But I still remain convinced this is it now. I still remain convinced this is his last season. I hope I'm wrong, obviously, but I don't feel, for whatever reason, Pep is really up for it, to be honest with you. These are strange times for us all, aren't they? I mean, we've all gone through different things. Pep's had his own problems as well, and I think football, to be honest, which is what he lives and breathes, to be honest, let's face it, isn't as important to him as it perhaps was, and that's fair enough. We can't complain about that, can we? Of course he'll do his best, and I'm sure I don't see that drive and that confidence anymore at press conferences, etc. I always watch his press conferences. I always watch his body language when he's on the bench, when you get to see on the cameras what they're showing. I'm fairly sure if he was staying, we'd know by now. I just don't think they're talking about wait until next summer. I mean, how can, as a business, let's face it, we are a business, it's a big business. We've got to plan ahead, haven't we? We can't just all of a sudden, oh, I'm going, and a week later give a week's notice. He's not at Asda, is he? He's not going to give a week's notice and go. So, yeah, I mean, unless he's going to extend for any length of time, even the 12-monthly thing. I mean, the players don't know where they stand as well. Never mind anybody else as fans. The players don't really know how they stand. Some are perhaps treading water while he's there, thinking he's going. It's wrong. And to me, I just think everything points to the fact that he will go. And he has stayed here longer than anywhere else. So we can only hope, or I only hope, he goes out with a bang. I mean, we need some consistency in this season, don't we? We need a consistent run of good performances, which we never really got last season. Teams need to fear us again. They don't fear us anymore. They think they can get something from City. Even average teams think they can get something from City now. They need to sort of fear us again, and the players need to believe in themselves as well. And as I said, if they think Pep's up and going, are they going to believe and put 100% in? I'm not 100% sure they will do. And this is really up to Pep, isn't it? And I will watch with interest. As I say, we can only speculate. I will watch with interest over the next few weeks. And in the meantime, I will continue my Pep watch in his last season until I know different and we know different, because I'm not telling lies anyway, am I? You know, you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, it is his last season as far as we know. So anyway, well, that will pan out, won't it? I'm sure we'll get to know, and I'm sure behind the scenes there's a lot more going on than perhaps we know about. Which sort of leads me on to our little City magazine feature today. And so what's going on and off the pitch to do with City. Some of this you may know about, some of that I just want to put my little two pennyworth in, and some you might not be aware of, etc. So obviously we've got the Champions League draw. You've seen that. I think most of us are happy with that draw, aren't we? It's not a bad group at all. Porto at home on the 21st of October, away on the 1st of December. Olympiacos home on the 3rd of November and away on the 25th of November. And Marseille away on the 27th of October and home on the 9th of December. So all that's back out of the way before we start defending our Carabao Cup, isn't it? So some fans did comment on Twitter that typical, isn't it, when we can't go, we've got some, in theory, some good away trips there, haven't we? So that was sort of just typical City, isn't it? You know, we get some really good stuff when we can't actually go there. Of course, City submitted their 21-man A-list squad for this season's Champions League, and is it for the younger players, etc., a list B submission 11 p.m. on Tuesday the 20th of October. So the full squad: Aguero, Aki, Cancelo, Carson, De Bruyne, Ederson, Diaz, Gundogan, Rodrigo, Jesus, Laporte, Mahrez, Mendy, Bernardo, Fernandinho, Stefan, Sterling, Stones, Torres, Walker and Zinchenko. So is it good enough to win it? You know me, I do not think we're good enough to win it yet again. I think a couple of years ago we perhaps were good enough to win it, but at this point in time, perhaps not. We've got Arsenal away, of course, in the Carabao Cup. That's been drawn, the quarter-finals, so that'll be interesting, because I've done I did a City Pass that will be released in the future about Arsenal and that Carabao Cup game that back in 2011. So that was interesting. We drew them again in the quarterfinals. But we do own one, don't we? And obviously we'll get an idea, obviously, when they visit us next week. But obviously we had the semi-final defeated, and it wasn't very good, and we will get a better idea. But we do own one, don't we? It's about time, and Mr. Arteta might think he holds the cards, but we'll have to see, won't we? Yeah, right, carrying on. Neil Palmer, which is probably not a familiar name. He's been writing the Jerry Gow story, with obviously an emphasis more on Bristol City, as a legend of Bristol City. If you look at the cover, it's more obviously red orientated. But obviously the proper City's going to be in it, isn't it, at some stage? So that's due to be published on March the 22nd, 2021. So that'll be quite interesting. And Jerry Gow is the only guy I actually made a banner for the 81 FA Cup final. I did a banner for Jerry Gow eats a cockerel and 3 shredded wheat for breakfast. You had to be there at the time to know what that was about. But he was, I spent hours sewing that onto the flag for Wembley in 1981. So there you are, Jerry. At least he's the only guy I've ever done that for. So there you are, Jerry. You owe me something, I suppose, but you did great for City while you were there. It wasn't long, was it? But what a player. What a fantastic. I would love to have Jerry Gow in his prime, to be honest with you. Fantastic. Aymeric Laporte has now added the wording, "I'm Eric," to his bio on Twitter, which we're all Eric, aren't we? So that was quite funny that when he added that. A nice piece as well. Ryan McGuinness, Eddie Large's son, agreed for his dad's image to be included on that famous crowd scene now on the Team of the Decade. Is featured there behind KDB celebrating. He did say, Ryan McGuinness, that Dad would be so proud, which is absolutely fantastic. And interesting enough, on that lithographic, it's actually for sale at £70, 60 centimetres times 28 centimetres. And there was also a canvas print, but there was limited availability, and I checked on yesterday, it looks as though it might have been sold, but it was £550. So obviously someone's got a few quid, haven't they, to pay £550 for the canvas version. So it might have been a glitch on the website, and they still are available, but it did say I couldn't not that I was going to buy it, I just clicked on to see if it was still available, but it did say limited availability, then it did say it's not available, so it might have just been a glitch. So £550, I don't know how many of them there were, but That wasn't cheap, but 70 quid. 70 quid, is that alright? 70 quid still sounds a lot, doesn't it, for us, especially if you're struggling at the moment, as you know, a lot of us are with this COVID thing. And keeping on the thing of artwork, we've got some great new artwork from the talented Leslie Ross. She did something for KDB, obviously. We must congratulate on being voted by UEFA for the best midfielders last season, so well done to Katie. I don't think he won the ultimate, but he was voted one of the best UEFA's best midfielders. So a great image from Leslie there of KDB at 111 Leslie 111. That's superb. And on the artist front, we got another little artist, Christina at MCFC Christina. She went back to her palette apparently after a 3-month break, and did a little image of Ruben Diaz. So, Leslie, you've got a competitor there, you've got a rival. So, both, they're not rivals, are they? Complement each other perfectly. Both superb and both worth a good look at there. So, that's Christina at MCFC Christina. And it's good to see the City playing still out and about, isn't it? Someone spotted it. Someone was commenting about that. Has it been grounded? But apparently a City fan postman then took a quick picture the other week of it. So, a few days to go as I'm recording this. So it's nice to see that it's still out and about and flying the flag, if you like. And it was interesting, wasn't it? We've been talking about the transfer talk and the closing of the transfer window. There's been a lot of fallout about the tossing. I'm not going to say his surname. I'm not even going to try. I can never get it right. The Tosin sale for just $2 million. I think the problem with that is we never really see everything, do we? Never see what's going on behind the scenes, and there may be other things set up within that. I think there's a 20% sell-on clause, etc. But yeah, I mean, he's not going to make the team, obviously, so it's best to sort of move him on. But people are sort of saying it's derisory and slagging off Cheeky, etc. for only getting $2 million. But I think there's more to these things than perhaps the basic figures. You've always got to consider certain other elements of things like that. So I'm not going to slag it Cheeky off. I never do. I mean, at the end of the day, I think he's done an okay job. He's not always hit it right. Obviously, we do seem to get rid of players for a lot less than we think they're worth. But I think there's more to it than perhaps we see. I mean, we'll have a look at the general in a minute, when obviously not about his fee, but about his debut. But yeah, I mean, I think there's more goes on behind the scenes, and I think just to criticise, and say we do crap business, which obviously it looks as though we do on the face of it. I think there's more to it than that. I don't want to sort of go down that path, to be honest with you. At Lee Hath 1968, a fantastic truck conversion there in honour, of course, of David Silva of El Mago, and that's great. I mean, I'd be wary of parking that up, though. I'd be some idiots would try and vandalise it, wouldn't they? I mean, that's in this day and age that would happen. But what a fantastic truck conversion! That's a great image that Lee Hath put at Lee Hath 1968. A great image on Twitter there that he put of his lorry conversion. And I've got another wonderful image, again, Cityfied, but at Zoe Allison Hill posted a great picture of young Anastasia ready for nursery. I think there's no doubt in our minds who young Anastasia supports is. That is a fantastic, that cheered me up no end looking at that picture, to be honest with you. It's some great stuff on Twitter and Facebook. There's some rubbish, but there's some great stuff. It makes it all worthwhile when you see things like the truck conversion, which is nice, but then you see something like young Anastasia there all ready for nursery, and it makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it, Twitter? It does have its good points amongst the bad points. And if you're into Venn diagrams, you like me, I like my stats, as you know, my little stats and stuff. But if you're into Venn diagrams, then at James in Surrey posted a great one, didn't he? There, it's not very neat. I mean, James, make sure you get it, get your thingy out, your compass and stuff, and make it a little bit neater next time. But obviously, it's an interesting, a bit of fun, isn't it? But that was a good one, wasn't it? I mean, useless since Fergie left. Obviously, United, the Black Eyed Peas, and Prince Andrew. But that's one of the funniest Venn diagrams. They're usually pretty dry, aren't they? But that's usually one of the funniest Venn diagrams I've ever seen. And talking about quite fun, I mean, poor Gunnosaurus, I mean, made redundant by the Arsenal. I mean, what did they pay this guy? What are they saving by making him redundant, to be honest with you? But obviously Mesut Ozil has stepped into the fray, hasn't he, to cover his salary. At least he says, well, he's an Arsenal player, so there you go. I mean, perhaps he's on his way out and he knows he doesn't have to cover it for very long. But really, I mean, Did they get paid? Gunnosaurus, did the Moonchester and Moonbeam get paid? I mean, I'd do it for nothing, to be honest with you. I can't believe it. I might, perhaps expenses, you know, to get there and back and stuff, but I would do that job for nothing, never mind. I can't believe they're on a salary, Gunnosaurus, and obviously it started me thinking about Moonbeam and Moonchester. We've got 2 of them to pay, haven't we? I mean, I'm surprised they've not been made redundant, so... Yeah, but that's really good stuff. It does make you think, though, doesn't it? As I said, but I'd do it for nothing. I'd take the kicks up the bum. I used to be. I remember when the kids were little, we went to a Haven camp, and one of the mates who dressed up as, it was a bear at the time. It wasn't Rory the tiger. He had a bear as a symbol, like a Hofmeister bear at the time. It was the early days of Haven, and it was poorly, and they used to do these dance routines, and my kids would have been gutted, so I dressed up as the bear and sort of did the best I can with the dance routines. I did okay, you know, and no one sort of realised it was some idiot. They all thought it was a real bear, so my kids were delighted. But, you know, you got these little kids kicking you up the bum and hitting you and things, you know, and all this sort of thing, but there you go. But, yeah, I mean, if Moonbeam and Moonchester, yeah, I would do it for nothing. I mean... Can't believe they're on a salary like Gunnosaurus, and I'd love to know how much it is. I wish they'd told us that. And again, staying with kids, Puma football design. Obviously, there's an image on the thumbnail for this, wasn't it? The City kit winner was Lucy Beth, aged 9, from Dublin, who got her own version of it. Well, that's fantastic, and obviously to see Sergio on it was great. Only 20 kits of these were made, apparently. I mean, I don't know if you liked it. I was a bit, you know, but I was a bit like that till I realised it was Lucy Beth and she was 9 years old, and I thought, yeah, that's pretty good. And so, you know, obviously if it had been a Puma guy, you know, in his 30s, I would have said, what's that? But I think Lucy Beth's done a really good job there, so well done Lucy Beth on that kit. Superb. And of course, more fun poked at City. I mean, we do shoot ourselves in the foot from time to time, do we? But we somehow lost all our Twitter followers, didn't we? So obviously, an absolute avalanche of jokes from opposing fans, etc. As we lost our 8.5 million Twitter followers. I mean, within the 24 hours, I think they were all back to 8.5 million. We all had to refollow, etc., etc. But we don't half set ourselves up, do we? Again, another typical City. I mean, we get enough stick off the media and the other fans as it is, but we don't half set ourselves up. I believe it was a Twitter problem. I don't think it's particularly City's problem, but either way, we don't half look stupid, don't we? So that wasn't great. At City Square Live there, if you fancy yourself as a PA, even into the women's football, I don't really cover the women's football, I don't know much about it. I mean, I hope they do well, but I'm not really that interested. So, yeah, they're after a PA for the City women's matches, so there's a place available. So if you want details and to apply for that at City Square Live, I think Danny does it, does he, at the moment? Danny does that. He does an okay job, Danny. But if you fancy that, that's at City Square Live, so check on that and get that. Yeah, the Daily Mail report. I don't read the Daily Mail. I don't buy it. Obviously, I see their tweets occasionally. But apparently Benfica were up in arms as the General didn't have the greatest debut. They did win, Benfica. They won 3-2, but the General gave away both. Apparently was responsible for both goals. How true that is, I don't know. And he also gave away a penalty. Fortunately, the goalie saved the penalty, which was okay. But yeah, I mean, the General didn't get off to the greatest start, so we can only wish him all the best, can't we, in that one. And obviously, quite recent... the fans are up in uproar, aren't they, at the £15 per game thing now that Sky and BT have announced for the non-published games, you know, the games so you can watch every game your team plays. But obviously everyone is up in arms about this. Some people are trying to defend it, saying the money goes back to the clubs, etc., who might be struggling. But I've seen myself... my own personal and business thing that these big companies that are doing okay at the moment, that are sort of still making money, are quite quick to try and grab even more money off people. I've had it myself from certain firms. I won't name names, but you know, where we are struggling, certainly little man, and people are struggling at work at the moment. But they all seem to want that little extra pound of flesh, and yeah, I don't feel that Sky and BT are doing anyone any favours. I'm sure that it all goes back to the clubs, yeah, less a massive admin fee or something like that, because I don't trust Sky and BT. We're ripped off here in the UK anyway. We're continually ripped off by, we can't even guarantee to watch our football teams total 38 games. It's not too bad if you go to the game. I go to all the home games, but but I don't get to many away games. So, but I'm not guaranteed. I have to chase around and find streams for stuff. It's absolutely ridiculous when you can go abroad and watch all the City games and every single Premier game for a fraction of what we pay. So this is just more of the same. It's just £15. It's still, some people said it should be £5, but I mean, at the end of the day, no, I'm not happy with that. But I don't think I've read some of the comments on hundreds and hundreds of comments, and I'm not in the minority on that one. I think 99% of people are saying it's shocking, but that's what it is at the moment, isn't it? What happened to all this going to be free on normal telly and stuff like this? That seems to have gone by the wayside, hasn't it? I'm not seeing much of that going on with this new season starting. On to the Manchester City side, just a couple of things on there. There's nominations for the Junior Citizen of the Match. Not Citizen spelt the wrong way, obviously with the Y, not my way with the I, which is the correct way. Nominations for the Junior Citizen for the match against the upcoming Arsenal game are now open. So if you go on to @Man City, you can go on there. There's a full kit up for grabs too as well. So if you want to do the nominations for that. And there's a nice little thing, Ferran Torres looking at his childhood, some nice images and his first footballing idol, etc, etc. So I won't tell you who it is, it'll ruin it for you, but if you go onto the @Man City website, there's a nice little interview with Ferran Torres on there. Right, and that's that. So we got the "You Are the Ref" answer, haven't we? So let's have a look at this one. So what did you think of that? What the here's the question. I'll just read the question out again, just in case you forgot. Yes, a defender and the goalkeeper change places and journeys without telling you. You still haven't noticed 2 minutes later when the defender, who is now wearing the goalie's jersey, dives and handles the ball. What do? Stop playing caution, both players. Allow play to continue, but when the ball is next out, play caution, both players. Take no action, or make the players swap back and award a penalty for the handball. Well, the answer is B. I wouldn't have thought that. I mean, allow play to continue, but when the ball is next out of play, caution both players for unsporting behaviour. So, I mean, I know we brought goalkeepers on as subs to play centre forward, but it's an interesting one, that, isn't it? I know goalkeepers go in net when someone's injured, and I suppose it's the same principle, isn't it? But, you could do that in a game, and so, I mean, I never really thought about that, but that was certainly interesting, wasn't it? So the answer B. So, did you get that one right? Well, who knows, but yeah, I probably wouldn't have got it right, but there you go. That's a good one. Yeah, anyway, thanks for joining me for this little special, this little citizen mag. As I say, I've a little bit on Pep. As I say, I'm no great shakes on what Pep's doing. I can only look at him and from my point of view and look at his body language, etc. And look, just read between the lines. That's all you can do. But thanks for following me, and I hope you enjoyed a little bit of City magazine and what's going on at City on and off the pitch. I'll be back next week, obviously, with a review of the Arsenal game, or preview of the Arsenal game, sorry. If I can get almost 1,000 views, that'd be fantastic, like I did for the preview of the Leeds game. Please check back in and tell your friends on that. And please don't forget to check out my playlists. Obviously, I do, even though there's no football, I do my City Pass features, and I've just recently done one on the iconic red and black away kit. And also a recent look back at the 1973-74 season through the eyes of the Supporters Club Handbook. A bit of audio problems on that, but I recorded it back in June. I had only had a tablet then. My phone had give up and my laptop had crashed. So, but I've got there's a bit of audio lag, but it's still good stuff on there. So I thought I'd put it out anyway. I've probably got 2 or 3 of those sort of filed away that I will be releasing over the next few weeks. But yeah, it doesn't detract from the content of the vlog. So I have put them out there. It'd be such a shame not to lose that video. Please check my links on screen. If you follow or friend me on Facebook and Twitter, I do check every couple of days and follow and friend everyone back. And please check my playlist if you like movies and TV dramas and quizzes, film quizzes. I do little vlogs on those as well on my Bernard's film and TV channel. So check that out. And please check out my website, moviegamenostalgia.com, my little day job for old rare DVDs, movie posters from the 1990s and 2000s, and some board games on there as well. If you can do that, it'd be very, very much appreciated. Right, please, until we meet again, stay safe, Blues. Whatever you're going to do with the rest of your day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. more importantly, look after each other. Let me know in the comments what you think and what you're doing and what you're up to on this international break. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bird is saying goodbye for now. Hopefully I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye.